Wow, that's spectacular. Wow. That's not bad, is it, Dave? Whenever I go out and drive, I always think that it's really important to stop and look at the sunset every now and again. Remind myself how lucky we are to be, we are to be doing what we're doing, and to remember not to take it for granted. I feel as though I need to have some quotes memorized for moments like this. I don't really have the words, actually, that are quite equal to the profound beauty of the sunset, so I'm just going to sit here and let you watch it for the moment. Breathtaking. Dave, are you going to shout at me if I don't let it get all the way to the bottom? You sure? The viewer's going to shout at me. Possibly. Lou might. Okay, well the Wildies have calmed down again, so we'll keep watching the sunset. From one side of the northern Sabi Sand to the other, I believe that Taylor and Zander are also looking to the west.
Now, I want to know from all you viewers at home, who has got the best shot of a sunset this evening? Is it mine? Is it Jamie's? I think the sun may have already set in Kenya, but we can always try. So, we are just pondering life and looking at this amazing view. Isn't it wonderful to have two sunsets in one game drive? I think it's quite spectacular. And I can imagine Jamie's sunset must have looked quite different, as she is in the open plains on Cheetah Plains. And I am in the wooded area filled with terminalias, bush willows and marulas. Very, very different scene. Well, I said to you that we were at some point going to see the sunset, and we have. But we're now going to head around and try and relocate on the Nkuhumas. And because it is getting dark and the cubs are still around, we're going to have to try it with infrared a little bit later. It's going to take us some time to get over to the northern boundary. And hopefully by the time we get there, we catch them waking up and on the move. And it'll be quite exciting. Like I said, there's quite a few clouds in the sky. It's not a clear sky, so it's good hunting conditions. And the wind is there. Now that will make for a good advantage for the lions this evening. We're going to slowly bumble around and see what else we can find though along the way. The sun's probably going to be down and behind the horizon in the next 30 minutes or so. We don't have too much light left, and with all these clouds around, possibly it's going to get a little bit darker. Now, it's been so much fun the last few evenings having the hot weather around, because we've seen lots of creepy crawlies. Now it's quite a difference in the temperature from what we've been having. It's very chilly this evening. You can see I've got my big jacket on already. Normally I don't bring that out very often. So I'm wondering if we're going to see as many spiders and millipedes and beetles. Normally they only come around when it's nice and warm. So it'll be quite nice to see what happens a little bit later this evening. Oh, we've got you another patch. I have to show you how green the grass is over here. You're going to be so surprised. Oh, we should have done our little screenshots in this area, but I didn't know the grass was going to grow so quickly over here. It's like I've come out of a desert and I've come across a little mirage. Look at this. Which side should we look at? Left or right? Left or right? Let's go left. Look at all the lovely green grass to the left, everybody. Can you see it? And you can get one more shot of the sunset. Isn't that amazing? Everything just looks happier this side. Quite spectacular, I think. So I'm surprised we haven't actually seen a few more animals around here. Oh, hang on, we've got a bird. You go all the way to the right. There's one. Once you spot one, you should start to see the rest. Have you seen it yet? If you go straight in, Vanda, there it is, in the bottom of your screen. That is a Senegal lapwing. Well, there's quite a few around. And we are creating bird lists, everybody. So if you haven't got a Senegal lapwing on your list, you need to add it. And I'd love to hear from you. And see what number. Oh, we're about to watch a kill. Everybody, we saw a hunt, the chase, and the capture of an ant. Thank you, Senegal lapwing. Right, everybody, we can end the show now. No, I'm just teasing. We're not going to end the show. But that was quite nice to see this lapwing catch a little ant or whatever, hoho, that is insects in South African language, a hoho, that this bird managed to catch. But I thought that was quite amazing. Now I lost my train of thought on what I was telling you about because I got so excited. Death staring us. There we go. Catch something else for us. Look at stalking. No, didn't catch anything this time. Not as exciting as a lion, I suppose, but it's still quite funny to watch. What else are you going to do? Just feeding. Just eating as much as you can. So there are a few little insects around, as you saw, but mainly ants. We should still see the termites a little bit later. I have no doubt that they will come out and continue working on their mounds. Where are the rest of the lapwings? They've all seemed to have disappeared. They're quite gregarious, so they live in groups, but now I can't see the rest of them. They are very well camouflaged, though. This is a very productive area. This Senegal lapwing is having a lovely buffet of hohos. If you're wondering how to spell hohos, it's G-O-G-G-A-S. So I suppose it's like you're saying hochas, but we say hohos. So you could put an O-S at the end. I think that's acceptable. Amazing. Right, we're going to carry on, everybody. We need to make our way towards the lions. And I want to try and get there before the sun disappears. Just because they were in the thick bushes. And it'll be quite difficult to try and maneuver through there without any lights on. So at least if we can get there while we've got a bit of light, that we don't disturb the cubs, and then we can switch on to infrared. And then we just sit and wait. So I'm sorry, I'm near the power lines again, and I'm struggling to pick up the name of the viewer that's asking this question. But Samson? I can't hear, there's a lot of static. I heard the question. The question was Samson, everybody. There we go, I've got it now. Like I said, the power lines have a huge interference in in my communications with the lovely ladies of Final Control. Now, Samson wants to know how difficult it is going to be for the birds when all this lovely lush vegetation comes around to sort of find food. Now, not difficult at all. With all the rain that's going to come around, there's going to be an abundance of insects. Remember, the ground is nice and soft, so a lot of the beetles have all had an opportunity to mate and lay their eggs down in the soft soil. So hopefully by the time all the grass comes through, we're going to see all the larval stages and the instars and the nymphs and all sorts of other goodies are coming through and feeding on the grass and all the new leaves, depending on what species they are. So I think the birds are going to have a fantastic time. I don't think it's going to be particularly difficult with all the lush vegetation coming around. It just means that there's more things to eat. What did I see? I've seen something up ahead. It could be a wildebeest. It could also be a very thin buffalo. We're going to see it just in a few moments. It could also be a burnt log. That's a possibility. Oh no, I think it could be a burnt log. Please move. Whatever you are, please show some sign of life. No, I think it's an animal. I'm feeling a little bit better about myself now. I must tell you a funny story. So when I first started guiding, I used to get horribly excited about thinking that I'd spot something in the bush, and I'd often yell out, "Lions!" and point, and so excited to my guests. Now I'm also trying to multitask, remember where I'm going, trying to chat to my guests, and then also find animals. It was quite difficult for the first few months. And I would do this. I would shout all these animals out, and then what's happened to me right now. So I'm going back to old habits, everybody. And then I learned the importance of binoculars and how amazing binoculars are to actually try and find the animal before you see it. I swear that I saw a wildebeest. Where have you gone? That couldn't have been a log. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what it was, everybody, but it's gone now. And I have to show you one last look at the sunset because the clouds change color now as it's coming through the clouds. Look at that. This is really just a distraction technique to take you off the fact that I called a log a wildebeest. But how beautiful is that? I need to eat more carrots. Amanda needs to, in the kitchen, who's our lovely chef, she needs to please produce some more carrots or anything that will improve my eyesight. Now that's not a cloud at the bottom that it's going behind. That's actually the Drakensberg mountain range, everybody. But there is a cloud on the top. Isn't that spectacular? And we are live just again. This is a real live African safari. And we're watching the sun go down on this cloudy afternoon. Fantastic. That would have also made for a fantastic screenshot. So I hope you're all building up collections of all the wonderful photos. Now we're going to carry on making our way towards those lines, and I'm going to try and not identify too many more logs this afternoon. Such a rookie error. Ah, lovely. I'm so happy to hear that Senegal lapwing is a new bird for one of our viewers, Tarjinda. So congratulations. I'm glad that we managed to add another one to your list. So it's a bit bumpy here. I'm trying to find the easiest way around. Oh. So we're trying to get the shortest route towards these lions. So I have taken a road where we've got some power lines, but it's not going to be for too long. We're just going to zip past them and head towards the Nkuhumas and Birmingham number 3, I think I said, yeah, Birmingham number 3, who is laying next to them. Let's carry on. It's really cold. I'm even going to have to zip up my jacket at some point. I was quite brave by leaving it open, but this miserable cold breeze that's coming through, very chilly. I'm snaking along this road. Also, everybody, I am looking for actual animals as we make our way towards the lions. Tires are still good. Always just check over each side. when we were with those lions earlier, there were a few thorn trees. I'm just making sure that I didn't spring a slow puncture. That often happens. We often have to change tires, but you get really good at it after you've changed your 10th tire in a week. It becomes like second nature, sort of like brushing your teeth. Hey, we've got some impala up ahead. We've got quite a big herd. And I don't think that they're going to hang around. We're probably going to get there. And they're going to run from us. One has already started gallivanting away. And that's just because it's quite windy. And we are downwind of the impala, so I don't think they can hear us very well, unfortunately. You can see them in the distance, straight ahead, moving off to the side. And also it's getting a little bit dark, so their eyes are trying to adjust now to this sort of twilight period. We'll see if we can have a quick look at the impala. All moving away from us. I'm sorry that we have disturbed you. I think they're looking for a nice spot out of the wind, but also a little bit out in the open, so that they don't get eaten tonight. Remember, they do come out into the open just so that they can find a nice open space to sleep. Otherwise they will not see anything coming towards them. Just a quick little snippet of the impala. Let's go this way around. I'm trying to drive roads that I haven't driven already this afternoon, just in case we missed something. Though sometimes it is quite good to drive on the same road again. I've driven the same roads 100 times, and on the 10th time spotted something that wasn't there before, that's just come out. So we're going to go a little bit further. I think we're going to maybe take Aubrey's just to have a look. Pick up the pace a little bit. Not too fast though. We don't want to hit any animals, remember. So when I say pick up the pace, I mean I'm only probably going about 25 kilometers an hour now, which is not very quick at all. And down we go. Thank you everybody for sending in the wonderful screenshots of our lovely sunset this evening. It was quite spectacular, and we got to see two variations of the sunset, actually three, including Jamie's. So that was quite pleasant. Right now I've just got to keep an eye out for this road, otherwise I don't want to miss it. This is that multitasking skill I was telling you about earlier. And my favorite thing when guiding guests was trying to shine a spotlight, talk to your guests, talk on the radio, all at the same time. That was always quite funny, and you obviously get quite good at it, and you're not driving very fast, you sort of stay in second gear, and that's all you do. So it's not too bad, but in the beginning it's quite difficult. You know, every now and then you'll have your spotlight, and you'll be shining, you'll be talking, and then someone will shout, "Tree!" You know, and you brake, you've got to swerve back onto the road. No, Jake doesn't ever get that serious, but you know, every now and then you give yourself a little fright, go off the road a little bit. And also, the more often you drive the particular roads in the area that you're working, you sort of get used to the different bends that come in the road. And then when I was working down in the south at the time, then I don't think I even used to look at the road. I just used to look behind and chat away and drive. Can't do that just at the moment. Still learning the roads of the northern Sabi Sands. Right. It's very windy now where we've come to. It's not pleasant at all. Sure, there's some big clouds coming in behind us. At one point they looked like they were going to disappear a little bit, but they seem to have come back again. And I wonder if we're not going to get some more rain with this sudden drop in temperature. It feels like it, because we've had such hot weather. I'm wondering how chilly it has got since this this afternoon. Now, I believe about 25 degrees Celsius, if I'm not mistaken. My conversions are horrible, everybody, so I must apologize. And I know the lady of the day, which I think is a fantastic name, was wondering what the temperature was. Don't worry, I can't really, my finger's not really a thermometer. Oh cool, look at this. Look how the elephants have pushed this tree over. I just think this is, it's like a bouquet of roots. Amazing. So they've pushed this tree over, everybody. I know this is quite random, but they've just pushed it over quite nice. And if you go up a little bit, you can actually see how the elephants have eaten the roots. You can see a few broken pieces there. Like I said, in a few weeks' time, if we get some more rain, the elephants are going to stop doing that, and they're going to start to eat all this lovely, luscious grass that's coming through. It's almost at the point where the elephants can pull it out the ground with their trunks. Almost there, a few more days. And let's hope for another bouts of rain. That'll be nice. And possibly then we may even see the termites coming out. I'm still waiting for the alates, the winged termites, to be released. That's going to be another exciting adventure. And I hope that we get a bit of rain maybe this evening, and then tomorrow night they all spawn for the grand finale of the safari marathons. But I'm being extremely optimistic. But it's good to be optimistic. Elephants have been very busy in this area. They've pushed over lots of trees. But some of them still have their roots in the ground, so I think that they will still grow. And that'll be quite nice for some of the other animals. Be quite nice for some of the animals who can't reach the tops of the trees. So something like an impala or a kudu, if the tree does grow sort of horizontally along the ground. Okay, well, I'm going to race on over to try and relocate on the Nkahuma Pride before the sun dips behind the horizon. Let's see how Jamie is doing after her very exciting wildebeest experience.
I have to tell you, I was still chuckling a little bit after our wildebeest experience, but we did tear ourselves away eventually and start to make our way a little bit further to the west. And just by the way, that elephant, talking about elephants and pushing over trees and so on, I watched him as we drove out of that wildebeest sighting, and he wasn't 100% relaxed. In fact, he wasn't relaxed at all. And I decided it was just worth leaving him and letting him settle a little bit. So we left our eddy, and I've decided to come all the way to Djuma Dam to see what's happening here. Djuma Dam on Cheetah Plains, just in case that needed to cause any confusion. Djuma Dam, because of course Cheetah Plains was the original property of Djuma's owners, hence the name Djuma Dam. Let us see at least how much water is here, because we never quite made it all the way here yesterday. No, not yesterday, day before. Thank you, Darby. The day before yesterday, when we met up with a male lion along the road and we kind of stuck with him. Oh, let's go and investigate how much water Djuma Dam has. There's one flaw in my plan, Dave. I can't cross anymore. Oh well. There are worse things. We can go all the way around. We're certainly not in any kind of a hurry. I would drive across the dam wall, but I'm a little bit concerned it would collapse on me. I think that is an entirely valid concern. Oh, I thought those rocks were lions. They're not lions. They're rocks. Oh well, you can see what I mean, sort of. At first glance, that looks like a lion lying down. Unfortunately not. That could definitely, if you just shoot at a cursory glance, that could definitely be a lion pride. For now, for those of you wondering how much water is in Djuma Dam, well, there you go. A considerable amount. Which is nice, because Cheetah Plains actually usually receives less rainfall than we do. Whenever it rains with us in Djuma, there's usually about 10 mils less here on Cheetah Plains. One of the reasons why it has looked as dry as it has over the last few months. Very peaceful. Beautiful. And I think we can actually sneak across. I think we'll be okay. We'll just pop the vehicle in low range. Ooh, was that a terrapin I just saw? Let's go and investigate. Okay, well this could go one of two ways. One is really well, the other is pretty badly. Let's see how we do. And we can see whether or not I did see a terrapin there. Must be a terrapin. But it would be very interesting if it were a catfish, because this dam has been dry for months and months. Oh goodness. We'll be fine, right? Sure. Looks perfectly stable. It's definitely a whole load of terrapins. I don't really want to stop. Forgive me, because I'm a little bit concerned the ground might slide out from under my tires. We'll have to do a very sort of passing move. We made it! Without sliding into Djuma Dam. That would have been very embarrassing. A very, very embarrassing call to have to make. If you could please come and rescue me from Djuma Dam. And go. I can never remember these roads now. I think I go this... No, I do go that way. This is how one ends up accidentally... Well, let's just put it this way. That's how James has once or twice ended up getting lost on Cheetah Plains and ending up in different places. Whoopsie! Well, there we go, Dave. We paid a visit to Djuma Dam. It was Dave's suggestion that we should go and have a look and see how much water there was left in the dam itself. And for now, I think we're going to... Look how pretty that is. I'm just trying to work out which tree it is. I'm getting yellow flowers. I know it's very dark. I suppose I could spotlight it. Well, it feels a bit weird spotlighting a tree. Bright yellow flowers. How pretty is that? It's the bright flowers of the sjambok pod. What are they called? What are their new names? You're not allowed to call them sjambok pods anymore. Their names changed to long pod, something to do with the pods. Those are the pods dangling on either side. What are they called? They're cassias. That's the Latin name. But what on earth is the new common name? I've drawn a complete blank. Long-tailed pods, pod-tailed long... Oh no, this is tragic. There are the long pods dangling. I can't remember. Well, for any of you that can remember what I'm trying to think of, if you could please let me know. I would really, truly appreciate it. You will, of course, be seasoned viewers, in which case you'll know the whole deal of hashtag Safari Live on Twitter, or email through to questions@WildEarthTV. Please help me. Long pod... You ever have it where something's just on the tip of your tongue? Although that's an expression I've never understood. It's going to drive me insane. The cassias. I'm saying that like it's going to boost... I don't know. It's gone. I'll think of it. I promise you it'll come to me. It might come to me if you don't... If none of you can work out what I'm trying to call it. It might come to me at 3 o'clock this morning. In which case I'll be terribly frustrated with myself. But it does happen. We're going to slowly start to shimmy our way out of Cheetah Plains and back towards Djuma. And our plan this evening, Taylor and I have hatched a cunning plan, a plan so cunning. I'm trying to think of an Africanized version of the plan so cunning. I'll think of one, and while I think of that, let's head back across to James and his lovely lions.
Night has fallen, everyone, in the Mara Triangle, and there is one of the members of our famous Kichwa Tembo Pride. Now, I'm not sure who this is, but we do know they killed a wildebeest in this area in front of Peter about 2 hours ago. This is a very fat cat, and I don't think it's going to go walking about the place at all. Now, we want to avoid just watching fat cats digesting their meal for the course of the night. Also, the rest of the pride is down in this big gully with the kill, and we can't get down there in this Land Rover. In fact, we'd probably struggle to get down there on some abseiling ropes, so we can't really go in there. The upshot of all this is that we're going to go towards 2 male lions that we found on the way here. Now, I just want to give you a bit of an update as to what's been going on here before we leave. I talked again with a few people today, most of whom have been working here for some time, and it seems even they are slightly confused about what's happening with the lions. The Kichwa Tembo Pride, we now know, is 5 females, 2 males so far. There was rumours of a 6th female, we haven't seen her yet. Old Scarface, who we saw yesterday, was the dominant male lion in this area, and he ruled supreme with his brother, a brother whose name is Morana, as far as I can work out. Morana got his name from the fact that he's got sort of loose hair at the bottom of his mane in the manner of a Maasai warrior, and that's apparently how he got his name, which I think is rather wonderful. Anyway, they ruled here for a while. Then those 2 blonde males who we met the first night came in here. And I don't know if you remember seeing it or if you had joined us or not. But what happened was the female with them, a young female from this very pride, she was calling, and then the 2 blonde males called. And the other male did not. Morana, that was the dark-maned male, he did not call until the very last time we heard them call. Now that's quite interesting. The 2 males came in here. They seem to have given Scarface a bit of a beating. Perhaps they backed off Morana because he was just less dominant, I don't know. But old Scarface went skedaddling back across the river, and until yesterday he hadn't been seen. He's come back. I don't think he's in particularly poor shape. He's old, certainly, over 10 years old. That's old for a male lion, but he still looks pretty good to me. So maybe his day is not yet quite done. But what is fascinating is that his brother, Morana, has joined these 2 blonde males. Now, we don't know where the 2 blonde males have come from, actually. They may have come, we've heard they used to knock about at the base of the Olololo escarpment where we're staying. We've also heard that they could in fact be related to Scarface and his brother. In fact, they could be sort of distant cousins from the Marsh Pride, but we're not sure. What we do know, however, is that those blonde males came in here and they killed the cubs that resulted in that female there having those swollen teats. And you can see those are not quite suckle marks, but they are the teats of a lioness who has been lactating quite recently. So that's the story that's unfolding here. The Kichwa Tembo Pride, an offshoot, it would seem to be, of the very famous Marsh Pride from Big Cat Diary days, and then the introduction of the superb character of Scarface yesterday with his brother Morana and the 2, we're going to still call them Marsh Male Coalition males, those 2 blondie boys. That's the story here with the lions, and what an amazing thing it has been to come and learn about these lions with you live from the Mara Triangle. I think that this flat cat is going to lie there breathing heavily for the rest of the evening. The rest of the pride, like I say, down in the dip below. So I think we're going to head off now and see if we can't find the other males. If you've just joined us, my name is James Henry. Genre is on camera, and the reason you cannot see me at the moment is that the drizzle has kind of begun. It's on and off. That means the roof is on where I'm sitting, so unless I severely concuss myself, I'm unable to stick my head out of the roof and say hello to you. So you're just going to have to make do with my disembodied voice for now. Good. Genre, are you ready? He says, quite so, very loudly. So that line is not moving. The direction in which we're facing now is where the kill is with the rest of the pride, apparently. Going to do a little maneuver here, and we'll see what else we can see on the way there to those 2 male lions. Then, of course, I don't know if you were with us at the very start of the show, but what an incredible start we had. 3 lionesses we began with, semi-attempting to feed on a wildebeest carcass. Now, the wildebeest carcass had recently been caught by one of the lionesses. She'd already fed on something sometime really fairly recently, but the prospect of ambushing a wildebeest crossing the Mara River in full flood was too much for her, and she nailed one of them after 3 attempts, and then sort of lay down next to it. They ate a little bit, and then they just left it where it was. We were rather hoping Scarface might pop out there, but he didn't. So we'll go back to those other 3 males and see what transpires there. Maybe they will go hunting, maybe they will just lurk about the place, as male lions are wont to do. Now, the reason the picture has gone green is because we are looking, and it's not green for you, it's black and white for you. We are looking at, well, we're looking at the picture through infrared, and that means that we're not going to disturb any animals that are on the hunt. We're also hopefully going to be using the thermal imaging camera, which was of extreme use to us yesterday evening as we followed the huntress of the Kichwa Tembo Pride on the hunt. Now, she is one of our favorite characters, and I'm going to give her a name tomorrow, and that name is going to mean hunter in Maasai. I just need to find out the correct word, and exactly the correct, because sometimes these words have got different sexes attached to them, so we need to find the exactly correct word, its right spelling, and then we also, with your help, need to find out, of course, what she looks like. What are her distinguishing features? Now watch out, everybody, a bit of a bump going through here. I just thought we might be able to see the rest of the pride, but I think it's going to be very difficult. And it's going to take us a little while to get to the other lions. Arathusa, nice question from you. You say, is it easier to find the Mara lions or the Nkuhumas because they live in such very different habitats? Arathusa, I think it's by far easier to find the lions here in the Mara Triangle. Well, especially this time of year. They don't move, you know, they don't move a great deal, and that's because there's so much to eat. Also, of course, you know, when the Nkuhuma's gone to Buffalo's Hook, you've got a decent tracker and you can go anywhere you like. You could find them probably just about every single day. But over here, the lions don't cross out of the property, they don't cross out of the traversing area. It's actually relatively easy to find them, which is rather good, I think. Down we go, up the other side. Now, I think it's still light in South Africa, and just to keep you posted, it is going to take us probably about 25 minutes to get to where those male lions were. And down, we're just going to go down into the dip here, and then we'll look towards, oh, look at this. I'm just going to ask Jean-Andre to point the camera up at the lightning. Look at that cloud there. Just watch this, everyone. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Gee, that's cool. That is so cool. Look at that. Let's just keep watching that. That's a storm over Ngama Mara where we're staying, everyone. Probably just behind it. Whoa! I think there's a car behind us. I'm just going to sneak forward and we're going to stay watching that lightning for a little while. Amazing how much traffic there is in this very remote location. We also, of course, need to give a name to this recalcitrant car. Because I've got to tell you, I never thought I'd see the day that I missed Wendy and Jigger and old Rusty. That day has arrived. Isn't that beautiful? This is what happens here. We've had rain here every single night. Very little yesterday, mercifully. That is the blacks. There we are. Isn't that gorgeous? We'll have one more look at that and then we'll press on. Whoa! And a very bright star off the top there. It's a planet, definitely. Probably Venus. Oh, that is just gorgeous. Take a screenshot of that if you can, everyone. Send them through. Ask us questions. Hashtag Safari Live questions at WildEarthTV. Very nice, Chandra. A pinprick of light in the center of the screen. One more lightning flash, and then we'll head on. See if you can grab the screenshot as it happens. No cheating. You may not rewind to get it. Once more. 3, 2, 1. No, I was wrong. 3, 2, 1. See? Almost right. Okay. Chandra, you want another one? Let's push on, he says. Okay. On we go. We'll have a look down into the dip here. See if we can't see any of the rest of the pride, but I think they're going to be out of range. Right. In the meantime, John, you can't see anything down there, can you, on IRR, the other way? Nothing. Okay, let's head across to Taylor. She'll give you an update from South Africa as evening starts to fall.
We haven't found the lions, everybody. The last sighting of these lions were of some of the female kahumas, I'm unsure how many, and the Birmingham boy, were moving away from their last position. And they were going south, and they did leave the little ones behind. So what we're going to do is I did a quick little scan around the perimeter, the block that they're in, and I haven't seen any tracks coming out, though it is quite dark, so tracking at night is slightly more difficult. And I didn't see any lions, obviously. Now, what I suspect could have happened is maybe they just moved a little bit further south from where they dropped the cubs just to have a little rest, maybe a little listen and a smell. So I'm going to go on the 2 track that goes through some quite thick vegetation and just to check. Now, I'm not going to even use the infrared on the cubs because the cubs are most likely on their own and we don't want to view them on their own just yet. They're a little bit too young. So I'm just going to pop my nose and just to have a very quick look just to see if the adults aren't close by. I'm just double checking a road that Wrexham kindly checked for us, but like I said, they are on the move, so they could have been moving through the drainage and maybe they could pop out at any moment. So let's quickly try and do that. Now, I did hear some of the other rangers saying that they could hear some lions calling in the very, very far distance. And they seemed to think that it was around in Coral, which is extremely far east of us. Now, I don't know if it's maybe that one Birmingham and the young female that are perhaps calling. So we also want to just check a little bit further east of where we are, just in case they have perhaps decided to follow up on those calls from the distance. And I hope they aren't though. I hope they're going for a hunt. So we're just going through this little thicket over here. I have to hold on. Eggsy has to hold on, but none of you at home have to hold on. Right. Okay, while I navigate through the wondrous drainage lines of Djuma, Jamie has a bush baby.
I've actually got 2 bush babies, but they're playing hard to get right now, in exactly the same tree where Dave and myself stopped the last time to have a look at them. And we got to spend a considerable period of time watching them. I'm hoping this will be the same. So just bear with me. I'm trying to think if it's better to reposition or if I should wait for this little thing to come out. I see you. I can see you. Yes, I can. And try going. There he is. Oh, you got him, Dave? Yeah. Yes, well done. Sorry, I can't take my eyes off it to look at my monitor, otherwise I lose it. There we go. One of the cutest little creatures on Djuma Private Game Reserve, a little lesser galago, also known as a lesser bush baby. Not that there's anything lesser about them, they're just really, really small. The smallest of our primates. I see you, second bush baby. There we go, we've got 2 in frame. Or we've got 2 on the tree. Oh, nip. Spoke too soon. Okay, there we go, Dave, that's a better one, sorry. Oh, it's gone. Oh, no. That'll teach me. Let's try that again. Definitely one of my favorite creatures to spot. Dave, I'm going to do it again to you. I'm sorry. It's there. Here we go. Hello, little one. I'm glad I did that because the other ones just jumped out of view. How cool is this? This is why our cameramen are the best in the world, because they film live wildlife and their subjects don't sit still. Sometimes they have wings, sometimes they jump like a bush baby, and now I've lost both of them. I got asked a question the other evening that I didn't answer properly, and I do hope the viewer that asked, oh, there you are, I see you. Come on. I do hope the viewer that asked it is watching now. And that is, why do bush babies not hunt on the ground if there's so many insects there? I spoke about the fact that sometimes they do, but it's also something that I didn't mention is the matter of competition. There are so many animals at night that are hunting for insects on the ground that it makes sense for the bush babies. Oh, there's one there. Well done. Well spotted, Dave. In the dark. Impressive. Now, the skies and the trees are basically left to the bush babies and the nightjars. And that's why they stay in their trees. Also just to keep us guessing. Hey, Dave. I can see a tail. Just listen. There's kudu alarm calling close. That's what I heard earlier, Dave. It can't be the lions already. Sorry, I'm going to keep watching the bush babies, but I'm just going to take my earpiece out for 1 second. So one of the antelope is calling its alarm call that they only ever do for leopards and for lions. And I'm trying to get an idea of where that call came from, because it's difficult to gauge direction when one ear is slightly blocked. Ah, in Torchwood. Deep booming bark of a kudu. Unfortunately outside of our traverse area, but not by much. Jeepers, they're so cute. Look at them. Whee, pick one. Which one? Whoops. This is amazing. It's one of the best bush baby sightings ever. How cool is this? Is that not just the cutest thing you've ever seen? One of the cutest things you've ever seen? I know you've spent some time with Taylor and those wonderful lion cubs. Where'd you go? Oh, there we go, I've got one. I've lost him again. This is fun. This is like hide and seek. I'm not sure if Dave agrees. This is great fun, Dave. Good. I'm glad. I'm just scanning. Aha! Our stations, I'm on Cheetah Cutline now. I can hear kudu alarm calling about 700 meters to the east of me in Torchwood, if anybody's close. Afternoon, Mike. Jamie here. I'm just about close to Leadwood Junction on Cheetah Cutline. I can hear kudu alarm calling about 700 meters to the east of me in Torchwood. Copy, no problem. That's a good sign. Sorry everybody, I'm just chatting on the Game Drive channel, but luckily we had bush babies to keep us busy. I'm standing by yours. Yours on Torchwood side. I'm close to Leadwood Junction on Cheetah Cut Line. I can hear them about maybe 700 meters to the east of me. I don't know where exactly. I don't know the roads on Torchwood. Copy, no problem, yours. Here we go, I see you. I lost you. Here they're coming. Here they're coming through. Well done, Dave. Keeping track of them whilst I'm trying to converse on the Game Drive comms as well. I've lost. Have you got one there? There's one. This is highly entertaining. Copy that, thanks, Taylor. I'm still going to come in from Central on Cheetah Cut Line side. Okay. Sorry to say this, everyone, but I think it's time for us to potentially leave these bush babies and get moving. Hold on, let's just give it one more chance in case they decide to come out. They're related to the lorises and one other primate. The name's just gone out of my head. It'll come back to me in a moment. Pup begins with a P. Lorises and patos. That's what they're related to. And they're absolutely magical. They're up there catching insects, bouncing about from branch to branch. Clearly amazingly agile. Let's go over to James. He's got something interesting.
Look at that, everyone. That's a serval. And it's very, very relaxed. It doesn't really know what we are doing, and it can't see anything. Well, I've put the headlights on, but that's not what's on them. I'm going to turn them off so it can't see us at all. And it is burnishing in the red infrared. Look at him. Look at this gorgeous cat. Short tail. Long ears, wide ears, to hear the rustling of rodents in the grass. I think that tail is actually shorter than normal. I think you'll find that it's a piece of it's been removed. Look at this. Walking very carefully. Now, if you don't know what a serval is, everyone, it's quite closely related to your house cat, believe it or not. It's from the same genus, Felis, and it moves in the same way. They're very, very careful mouse and gerbil and other rodent hunters largely. Also ground-dwelling birds they'll eat. And they specialize in leaping into the air and pouncing down onto whatever it is that they can catch. Now, we're on our way to find those two male lions again. We're not too far from them, but we just thought we'd stop here and show you a serval in infrared. What I'm going to try and do now is move slightly backwards. I think we might still have a view there. There we go. It's going off through a very big ditch off the road, so I don't think we're definitely not going to be able to stay with it. But there, John, I don't know if you can put us. Oh, there we are. But I can see it on both my feeds. I've got both the thermal imaging feed and the infrared. And Jean, I'll show you the thermal imaging feed now. There it is. How cool is that? So that is the heat of the serval. You can see the heat. You can see the heat of the trees behind. That's the wood burning up there. And the serval walking all through the clearings. God, that is just gorgeous, isn't it? Well, and there's an elephant. Look at the elephants there. That is amazing. And that's because they're mammals, of course. I think I'd be very interested to shine this thing at one of those beastly crocodiles we saw earlier today. What an astounding sighting. I'm going to try and move forward a little bit. It's behind us. Really? It's right behind us, apparently. At 5 o'clock. I can see absolutely zero behind us. Now, Jean, if you can just keep the feed there so that I don't drive into this ditch. We'll just try and find it once more for you, everyone. Going to go for something in the grass. Hang on a second, let me just keep going. Tell me when it's at 10. Sorry, at 2. Is it at 2? Sorry, Stephanie, go again with your question, please. Hello, Stephanie. You're wondering if these cats are solitary. And they are completely solitary, Stephanie. 2 o'clock. Okay, I'm just going to get a little bit further back so Jean can maybe get it in infrared. Jean, you got anything there? Stephanie, no, they're totally solitary. The only truly social cat, everyone, of course, is the lion. It's in there somewhere, but I think our best bet, I'm afraid, is going to be... You got it there. There it is, right at the end of the infrared range. I think that might have been a tuft of grass. No, it's not it, John. It's standing up. If you look at the fleur. The fleur is the thermal image, everyone. Jean will take us back there. There it is. So it's quite far off the road. Now this is pretty basic. What is that, if not... I'm just wondering if that isn't a small serval. Can you see to the right of it? There's definite heat. I wonder if that's a litter of cubs. Not cubs, kittens. Look at that! Okay, we're going to try and get in there, everyone, but I've got to tell you, just... Yeah. Okay, let me see what I can do. Because this is going to be worthwhile. I think we should maybe go back to South Africa while we attempt this. Alright, in the meantime, we'll see if we can get in there. Let's go across to Taylor and find out about her lions.
We have got a lion, everybody. I don't know if you can see her in there. It's one of the female lionesses. She's just, you can sort of make out that is a lion over there. I'm just trying to chat to Jamie now. Jamie, she's going to Makulush-Latin. She's on the eastern side of Ndlela. We're probably about 50 meters south of Nyala, South Nyala North Junction. Sorry everybody, I'm just trying to get Jamie to come and help me because she's moving through very thick vegetation. I cannot drive through here. Okay, copy. Yeah, I've just got one Mufuzzy here. I don't know what she's doing. I'm just going to try and stick with her. Sorry everybody, we're just trying to work out what she's doing. She's even moving through very thick vegetation. Can you see that? Like it's even difficult for her. Can you imagine? There's no ways I'll be able to put a vehicle where she's going. I need to just do a scan, everybody. We've only got one female. Where is the rest of them? Where are the rest of them? And now we need to try figure out how we're going to get to her. Everybody, I need to put my GPS on very quickly. Okay, I see her again. She's going to pop out on the road. Just want to see exactly where the next closest road is. Off we go. Can I go back a bit more? Oh, okay, Eggsy and I are both driving in the dark, everybody. I'm trying to not lose this female as well as try and reverse very quickly. That's quite a steep bank, but we can do it. We will prosper. Hang on, everybody. I think I've got her again. I think she's just up on the road. Yes, she's... Oh, we've got 2 lionesses. Hello, lovely ladies. I'm so... 3 lovely lionesses. 4 lovely lionesses, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Look at them all greeting each other. Amazing. Quite spectacular. So we're just missing 1 female. And I suspect that it's the young one, because I think the first one that we found was actually amber eyes, everybody. Now we're going to follow them. I do need to put my GPS on so I can tell Jamie exactly where we are. Sorry, everybody. I'm trying to get myself organized. Let's put the GPS on while we watch these lovely ladies. Isn't this fantastic? We've been driving around and I was honestly thinking that we were not going to keep up with these lionesses. Jamie, keep coming north on Inyala Road North. Yeah, I've got your audio. Oh, wow, did you see that? They jumped over a log. Thank goodness Jamie is close by, so she can help us. So Jamie and I are now going to play a leapfrog, everybody. I'm going to try and stick with these lionesses. You're going to hear me chatting to Jamie a lot. And then Jamie will try and get in front of them. And while then I will try and loop around again. And we're going to just leapfrog the entire evening now. Now I don't see the Birmingham male. I'm not sure where he is. We're going to have to go up here, I think. Whoa, whoa. Right, now this is very, very thick, but I think we can get a gap. Can you see them there, Eggsy? There they are. Right, now they're moving along the drainage lines, everybody, which is a good thing. It's thick. It's also the last area where there is a bit of vegetation for them to eat. You can see them, they're just coming out in front of me. The other thing is that walking on all that sand is very quiet. Okay, we need to reverse very quickly. But I think we can manage, everybody. Clunk, clunk, clunk. Sorry, Wendy. Oh, I'm being attacked by a phone. Ina. That Ina means ouch. But I think South African language is a lot more expressive. How am I doing on your side, Zander? Because I can't see anything. Well, good, eh? Yep. Sweet. Right? Whee! Right, hang on everybody, I've got to do a bit of going up here. I've got too much going on. But like I said, we will push and we will push. Oh, I can hear some angry elephants in the distance. Right, we're just going to try and get these females again. Yeah, Jamie, just come straight up in Nyala North. I've still got them. Okay, where are you going to pop out now? So we're just walking in this drainage, everybody. Okay, see them in there. There they are. We need to try and anticipate them slightly. Now, Anna, speaking about those thorns that I got attached to my hand, and Anna would like to know, do they ever get those horrible thorns stuck in their feet? Now, Anna, yes, they do occasionally, and can be quite sore. Their pads are quite tough, however, they're still able to penetrate straight through that padding into their foot, and then they have to try and lick those thorns out or try and pull them out with their teeth. Sometimes it can prove to be quite difficult, and they may get them stuck in for a few days, but they always seem to manage to get them out. Now, it's very thick here. The lions are still going. I think I can see one. I think it's going to be very difficult for you to see through this thicket. Let me go forward a little bit more. Let you see where you are. So I can't off-road, unfortunately, but the road does bend around, as you'll see, and the lions are coming straight towards this, I think we're in the Mawati now, right over here. Hopefully they're going to walk straight out and in front of the vehicle, so we can position ourselves in a way that we can still see them. Let's see if we can get this right. Lovely ladies of the Nkrumah Pride, where are you? Reveal yourselves, please. So we're coming straight here. Just want to double check. Wendy, reverse please. Thank you. Sometimes you have to just coax Wendy into going into her gears. Okay, I've got Jamie coming up behind me. I just want to let her know what's going on. So I'm sure she's going to pull up next to us. Sorry everybody, I know I'm not paying too much attention looking back at you. Just trying to spot the lions. Hello. So Jamie, they basically in this direction towards us.
Awesome.
But now I can't see them anymore.
Did you hear that elephant?
Yes.
I wonder if it chase them away. Sorry, I'll grab
Okay. Perfect. Jamie's going to take over the radio quickly. I'm going to go up a little bit further and just see if I can't look through this drainage line. Oh, no, we need to go in the second gear. Jamie's going to stand by everybody just a little bit further east of me. And hopefully these lions are going to come out somewhere. We've got them surrounded. We're going to have to find them. What's that? Lions, where are you? No, it was quite difficult because I couldn't... Hang on. What is that? You a commendator? Just going to drive a little bit over here, little drainage line quickly, just to see if I can look back into this thicket. It is very dense. I think Zana, show them how thick this vegetation is that these lions are moving through. It's just a wall of trees, everybody. Now we're just playing a waiting game and hoping that they're going to come out over here somewhere. I'm going to do a big scan, everybody, around. Let me check, let me consult the GPS. No, it seems that I've possibly lost the GPS. GPS, where are you? I've lost it. What did I do with it? Oh, no, here it is. I've got it again, everyone. So I'm just going to check the GPS very quickly to see where they are possibly, where they could possibly head to. Where are they? See, I'm almost certain that they were going to come out on this junction. Bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. Now they move very quickly, as you saw. So knowing them, they could even be ahead of us already. Maybe they're going back to the cubs. I have no idea what's going on, where they're going, and why they've left the male. They've just sort of abandoned him. Okay, I think we're going to... I can turn nicely. We're going to try and go a different way while Jamie stands by over here. Let's go through here. Whee! Little drop. Let's go this way around. see Jamie's waiting in the distance. I'm just going to carry on and check a little bit further west, just to see if they perhaps haven't crossed somewhere else, so we don't all sit in the same spot. Hopefully we'll spread ourselves out. So I believe there's one other ranger that's going to come and help us as well, which is great. The more the merrier, because we need to find these lions again, everybody. We've spent enough time trying to relocate on them, so I think we'll get them again. Where are you? Ah. So Jim says he thinks that he has heard a male lion calling from the Djuma dam. That's a good indication. That's a very good indication. Possibly he's split up from these females and gone on his own, but I'm not sure. Just going to keep a close eye out over here very quickly. Like I said, unfortunately I couldn't go in and follow those lionesses like I would have liked to, just because it was so thick, unfortunately. Oh, very bumpy here. Eggsy's holding on for dear life, and it is very unfortunate because now we have lost them. But I think poor Wendy would have been left in pieces if I'd tried to have navigated through all that thick stuff. Sometimes we have to go the scenic way around and hope that the animals just pop out in front of us again. But it is great. Please keep watching the different dam cameras and keep us updated. No, nothing, still nothing. So I'm still just listening, waiting to hear from Jamie. Desperation, actually, hoping that she's going to say, "I've got them, Taylor, I've got them." But she hasn't. She hasn't got them yet. Okay, I'm going to go down again into another drainage, and maybe I'll pick them up on this side. But this is what makes safari so much fun. The excitement never stops, everybody. It just keeps on coming. Let's check around here. I don't know where we are, but we're going to check. Oh, we're back at Buffelshoek Dam, everybody. Actually, let's go up the wall. Come on, Wendy. You can do it. And just maybe check that they didn't do a sneaky and have already come past here. Right, while I try and continue finding these lionesses, I think let's go and see if Janie's had any luck her side.
Oh, our cunning plan had one slight flaw in it, in that the lions decided that they weren't having any of it, and off they went into the thick bush. So obviously Taylor's gone to the north, I've gone to the south, and both of us are scanning intently to see whether or not we can't pick up on where those lions have gone. I have a suspicion that that elephant trumpet that I heard earlier, more like a scream actually, was the elephants reacting to the lions. Although usually when elephants chase predators like that, they usually react a little bit more strongly. Something on the ground here. What is that? A nightjar? Must be. Might be a nice idea to just sit and listen as well. There's the elephants up ahead somewhere. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I need to use the spotlight, Dave. I hear you, Elise. I just don't see you. Okay. I know there's elephants somewhere around here, I just can't see where they are. Copy that, thanks Taylor. Okay, so back to our little nightjar. Very, very cool. Probably a fiery necked, but not necessarily, and they are quite tricky, the nightjars. It's the tiniest, most subtle differences. You were there, yeah? The tiniest, most subtle of distinctions that determine which particular species of nightjar this is. It also gives us a good chance to listen to the sounds of the other animals. Perhaps something else spots the lions for us, giving us a chance to see them. Cool. Beautiful little birds. You show you an example. Nightjars kind of all look the same. This was a fiery-necked nightjar, it definitely was. You might have noticed the lighter spots around the wings. And they're one of the most well-known sounds out here that... I don't know how to do it. Pardon?
It's got a bit of a glare.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? There we go, that's better. Isn't it?
Yes.
This is much better. And that's one of the things that distinguishes it. And it's meant to be saying, deliver us. In a beautiful song. It's a song I always associate with summer in the African bushveld. The other species that we get, I'm going to just turn the page in a second. The other species that we get, Eurasian nightjar, also has similar but is slightly bigger than the fiery-necked nightjar as far as I know.
Just a glare again.
Oh dear, sorry Dave. You must smack me on the back of the head. Sorry, that's my fault. It doesn't have the rufous collar that gives the fiery-necked nightjar its name. And then those are the sort of the main two that we would get out here. I'm just trying to think if there's another one. Yes, there is another one, the square-tailed. And that's where it does get a little bit complicated. Because as you can see, very, very similar to the fiery neck that we were looking at. Now, I'm relatively certain it's a fiery necked, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, we're going to continue on our search for these mysterious lions. In the meantime, James has had far more success. Mark, we still haven't relocated.
Well, everybody, there is Morana, the male lion. That's who we think he is, anyway. And we think, from our intel, we've been doing much intel gathering. I feel like the entire branch of MI6, we have been gathering intel, and we think that that is Morana, the brother of Scarface, that quite epic male lion we saw yesterday. He stuck his head up, only because we came along, I'm afraid. But there he is, but next to him is one of the, I think, from what I can tell, one of the blonder males, one of the other males of the coalition that come in here and killed the cubs. And what's interesting is he's clearly young, he's got still a bit of pink on his nose. And what's interesting is that apparently Morana, when these blondies killed the cubs, for some time was seen with the cubs and spending time with them and their mothers. And he took no part in killing them, but he also obviously took no part in defending them, while his brother Scarface was across the river. Perhaps he feels a sense of shame. No, he's a magnificent boy. Look at him. Jeepers, he's big. Yeah, no, it's not surprising that he is the brother. I think we should go to the thermal for this one. There we have the lion, and just behind him a little patch of warmth you can see on the thermal camera. And look how cool his mane is, A, and B, this is the lion we saw flicking his tail on the first night we did this, and he's got no pom-pom. And that's why his tail ends rather abruptly, as opposed to in a semi-dark pom-pom. That was an astounding thing to see. Oh, wonderful. Excellent. Alright, let me just move slightly. Johnny, I'll try and get the front IR in on the sleepy one, other sleepy one, and the side one on the other sleepy one. There we are, look at that. They've lain perfectly for our infrared lights. Let's go slightly closer and turn off here. fact, we might try and go around the other side shortly. We'll just see what they do for a few minutes. I was told today that they were very full. I don't think they look particularly full at the moment. But male lions, well, you know, they do tend to be rather lazy, scavenging things. Yeah, he's quite full. Yeah, I know, he's got a belly on him. That lion is very sleepy. Still, there is so much food around. Perhaps a wildebeest will come wandering past here. Perhaps a zebra. But he doesn't look like he's going anywhere too soon, does he? The other characteristic apparently of Morana is the fact that he is missing one of his bottom canines. And if he is Scarface's brother, as we suspect, well, then he is also between 10 and 12 years old, I think. Now let's just have a listen to the sounds of the Mara night, and I'll tell you what I can hear. I'm just going to stand up again. Alright, let's be quiet, everybody. So I can hear some frogs, some insects. I can hear one species of frog going at a waterhole off to the right of where we're sitting now. Perhaps where Morana and his blonde brother will go. Well, not brother, coalition mate. Don't know what they are at this stage. It's really a fascinating story to be unfolding here. And I'm sad we won't be able to do it for the next few months here. But we'll keep updating you as and when we hear anything back in South Africa. But otherwise, all is silent, much as it was yesterday. It's just a beautiful, beautiful night. Valeria, in Massachusetts, you say, isn't it unusual that he should leave his brother, or sort of forsake him, if you like, do a bit of a Brutus a la Julius Caesar on him? It is unusual, but is it? So, yes, it's unusual as far as the textbooks say that it's unusual. Is it unusual for this area, for the Mara Triangle, for the Mara, during a migration when the wildebeest are in situ and the wildebeest and the zebra are coming up as well? I don't know. I'm going to hesitate to say yes, it's unusual. Certainly in South Africa we would consider it extremely unusual. But apparently the migration, when it does come up here, creates an enormous amount of upheaval in the lions. And often the migration brings with it nomadic males and nomadic lions who are without territory, and sometimes that brings upheaval. I'm going to guess, though, that old Scarface is born of quite a lot more testosterone than his brother. Although his brother is pretty dark-maned, maybe his brother was just bigger. And I'm going to suggest that he was the dominant lion, and that when these guys came in and had a go at him, well, I guess I really hate myself for saying this, but a bit like Scar in The Lion King forsook his brother Mufasa, so perhaps Morana forsook his brother so that he could kind of get on with life and not be beaten up. That was not a conscious decision he made, but I think it's quite possible that in order to reduce conflict, he acted in a submissive fashion to the new males. And certainly the reason I think this is because the first night when we were watching them, we had the female, and she was calling, and these two blondies were calling, but Morana was absolutely stumm silent. So I think that's quite interesting. Right, back in South Africa, the wonderful Nkuhuma Pride lionesses are on the hunt. Let's go and take a look.
I'm now mobile in a easterly direction, straight through the Schlachtien of Hyena Road. Yes. Huh? Are we live? Oh, did I pull myself out? I can't hear anybody, anyone? Right. So, as you heard in my voice, this female is now moving. straight through some thickets. How are we going to get in here? So we stumbled across her. I had a suspicion that she was going to come this way. I need to try and find a way through here. And I think the rest of the lovely ladies are in the drainage line. So they've just been doing loops. So we had the right idea earlier this evening of where to try and find them. Oh, there they go. She goes. Just watch your head here, Zander. There's a few thorns. Goodness gracious. Please don't go down into the drainage. Sorry, Zander. Watch your... Here they are. I've got them, everybody. Got the lions. Woohoo! That wasn't too bad. Thank goodness. Now I can tell Jamie that we have got only 4 lions. So wait, that is very confusing, everybody. Very confusing. Let's park like this. Oh, whew, whew, whew. Now the reason why I'm so confused is because of where I found that one female. She was sitting down in the middle of Hyena Road and waiting. So I don't know what's gone on. I thought it was maybe another female. Let me tell Jamie that I've got them. Jamie, I've got them. We're in the middle of Hyena Road, but we're east of that, but also west of that next drainage. There's just former fuzzies here. They're temporarily static. Sure, everybody, I cannot tell you what a sigh of relief I'm feeling at the moment. Because, sure, my goodness, I can't. They were going through some serious thick vegetation. Now, that was one of the mothers of the cubs, the one that's walking away and the one that we found. And she's obviously hungry. There she goes. And let's go back, though, because she's going to the thicket. Let's go back to the others. Look at this one. Just laying on her back. So comfortable. Now, I'm not sure if this is amber eyes or if this is that very young female. We'll have to have a look. I can't see any suckle marks or anything like that. So that's how I know it's either one of those two. But we shall see when she decides to get up. Now, I could also hear that male lion calling in the distance. And it sounds like he could be near Vuyotela camp. However, there are guests in the camp, everybody, so I can't go missioning too far away, but we'll probably go and investigate in a little bit. We've got Lou and Rebecca watching the dam cam just to make sure, to see if he does come down. I'm going to stick with these 3. Oh, they're starting to get up now. They are starting to get up. Who are you? You've got suckle marks. Off she goes. Now we're going to start moving again. I'm going to get Jamie to come around. Jamie, can you come around back to Hyena Road? Some of the fuzzies are up and mobile, back slightly more west. And we're going to get Jamie over here so she can come and give us a helping hand, everybody. You can hear that male lion calling in the distance again. Right, let's go back to these 2. Now, I suspect the direction that they're going now is straight back towards those cubs. I thought we were going to get them going on the prowl. They look hungry. They're not particularly fat. So I don't know if it was a very big buffalo that they killed on Buffalo's Hook. Maybe just a medium-sized buffalo. It was enough to sort of be an appetizer. And now they're awaiting their main meal. There's a big yawn. Oh, life is so tough. Matilda. No, I don't know. That's not her name, everybody. Because they were rubbing her belly with her paw. Did you see that? That was awesome. Are you going to roll again for us? I'm so itchy on my belly. Oh my goodness, I've never seen a lion do that before. That is amazing. Please get some screenshots of this. That's hysterical. Wow. Oh, I believe she does do it quite frequently, but that's quite amazing. I've never seen that happening where a lion rubs its own belly. We're going to see some nice interaction. Hello. It's very important that they keep rubbing each other, keep strengthening the bond between the different lionesses. I'm eager to see who this is that's still resting here. Come on. Lucky last. Stand up for us. She's not ready to go. Now she's looking over. Oh, it looks like it could be maybe that young lioness. It doesn't look like she's got particularly amber colored eyes. And her nose looks quite pink still. So I think it's the young female. Now where is Amber Eyes? I thought I saw her when we first found the lions. Very interesting. So hopefully Jamie's going to pick up on the others. I'm going to update her again. Jamie, I'm sticking with that young Mafazi Gonyam. The others have sort of gone a little bit further northwest of me now. Maybe you'll pick up on them when you come down the Ndlela. Okay, she's up and moving. We're also going to be up and moving, everybody. So I need to reverse out of this thicket, and I don't think I can go the same way as the lions. Phew, right. Oh, there they are. What are you looking at? Yeah, let me see if I can turn around this one. Am I going to hit a tree on your side? Oh my good. Okay. I don't have any side mirrors, everybody. Oh, here they are again. Hang on, everybody. We need to switch to infrared, everybody. These females have heard something, and they are very excited. I'm going to switch to infrared now, so everybody ready? Lights off. Are you ready? Come on, Eggsy. There we go. We are on. If you listen very carefully, you can hear the lions roaring. No, that's one of the male lions calling. I think that's maybe why they're racing off. It's actually not because something to eat. I think they're going to try and find him. So I'm going to need to put a light back on. The lions have all gone again. Oh no, I've seen one, everybody. We're going to stay in infrared though. I'm going to just pick up my spotlight now just so I can see where I can go. But I think that's possibly why they raced off in that direction. No, I don't know. Now we need to get out again. What's going on? What is going on? Lions are running, but I'm not sure why. Just one. That was bizarre. Oh my god, Jamie needs to get here very quickly to help me. This is too exciting. I need to switch off and listen. Jamie, can you fug a jumbo, please? I don't know where these Ngonyam have gone now. My daughter's colouring, the Mafazi's belegering stim. I'm trying to get Jamie here quickly, and I got a moth down my shirt. Okay, one female disappeared into the thicket. Can't follow her. Let's go further down the road where the others were going. Now I've turned the volume down accidentally. Lou, can you still hear me? Because I don't know if I can hear you. I'm just talking to Lou, who's in final control. I can hear you now. I turned the volume down a little bit, sorry. Just checking if the ladies are still with me. Now we're trying to figure out where these lions have gone again. They have given us the slipperoo. And I first initially thought that they were hunting. Now I'm not so certain because that male was calling and they seemed to dart off in his direction. I don't know if you were able to hear that at home. Lions, where are you? Please. And I'm going to try and not also pull my earpiece out. So it's quite interesting to try and able to distinguish between a male and a female's roar. Now I know Katha in Germany wants to know how on earth did I know that that was a male. That roar just sounded very deep and very gruff compared to what a female's roar would sound like. And the male's roars tend to go on for a little bit longer as well, and that went on forever. Not that it's a bad thing, quite pleasant actually. And I just need to work out what's happened to these lionesses. I have no idea where on earth they've gone. I'm going to just quickly check to the end of Hyena Road, and if I don't get lucky here, well, then I'm going to have to turn around and we're going to have to try again. Jamie's en route, and yes, I don't know what to do, because that male sounded like he was a little bit further east of us, like he could have been perhaps approaching Buffelshoek Dam, I'm not sure. But one female sprinting off. Right, let's go to Jamie, everybody. I'm going to try and find these lions again, and let's just see how she's doing. Maybe she's found one.
We're on Hyena Road as well, and it's definitely an exciting time. I don't know exactly where these lions have gone. I'm not 100% sure where Taylor is either, to be honest. She must be somewhere in this thicket. And what we're doing is we're preparing to immediately switch to infrared as soon as I see them. We drop our lights if they are hunting. Just trying to work out where they've gone and where exactly Taylor is. It might be worth just stopping for 1 second and listening. Let's just listen one moment. And check for chameleons at the same time. Nope. Wait, I hear them. Taking my earpiece out. I just heard one very soft, ooh, contact call. I'm switching Taylor onto open comms so that I can hear her. Come on, lions, where have you gone? Taylor, just stand by there. I think I heard a contact call to the west of me.
Sorry, Jane, you go again?
Is that your visual I've got on Hyena Road?
Yeah, affirm.
Just stand by there. I think I heard a contact call. So Taylor is just about 50 meters ahead of me. And we're just trying to hear if we can figure out where they've gone. Okay, I'll pop my earpiece back in now that I've got Taylor listening as well. They've gone into their favorite block. The block between Hyena Road and Gari Cut Line. We're going to see if we can find these females. I'm just going to go up ahead to Taylor, see exactly which way they were going, and we'll catch up with you once you've spent a bit of time with James and his lion.
So, rather unlike in the Sabi Sand, where the Ninkapumas are now walking through woodland, here, with the thermal camera, it's pretty easy to follow lions when they're moving, if they're moving. This particular lion is not moving. He's just put up his head, though, and he's sitting underneath a gorgeous tree there, sort of sticking out on its own in the clearings. Now, why he's got his head up is because he scented on the wind something that Graham has found with the thermal camera. So we'll just have a quick look at the thermal view. That's me there. Hello, everybody. And there's the thermal view. Those are zebras. And they're not walking straight towards us, they're kind of walking parallel with us and possibly around. And that's why he lifted his head, because their scent is blowing straight towards him. I just stopped speaking there briefly because it looked like there was a hot spot in the middle of that shot, but I don't think that's anything. So there go the zebras. The lions, like I say, I think look pretty full, so I'm not sure they're actually going to do anything. We knew the game was up yesterday evening, you know, when those lions started calling. The females started calling, advertising their territory, and we knew that they were no longer going to be on the hunt. This fellow's decided that he's got very dirty nails that he'd like to clean. What with it being Friday night and all. Jeez, this is amazing. Hello Spencer, you're a new viewer and you ask a very good question. You say, is it common for lions to be nocturnal hunters? Spencer, it is not only common, it is typical in many areas that they are nocturnal hunters. Now I would have said before I came here that they're almost exclusively nocturnal hunters. They will take the opportunity during the day if they can to hunt, but often they don't. Now, in the Mara here, because there's so much around, at least of the 4 or 5 kills we've heard of while we've been here, one of which we've witnessed, they've been during the day. Then we've witnessed one at night, but we've watched many failed attempts yesterday evening. So the lions here do kill during the day, and lions will take the opportunity to kill whenever they can. So it's not necessarily only during the night time that they kill. It's a good question, Spencer. Leopard as well, I think, do a lot more of their killing during the day than we think they do. He is deeply, deeply fatigued by life here in the Mara Triangle. But he's not panting, which means that he's not really that full. I think the blondie is probably fuller than Morana, if that is him. Now that blondie there that we're looking at is missing a bottom right canine, and I think I confused the information I got today by saying Morana was missing his bottom right canine. I think it's this blondie. He's also got a very dirty face. Yes, you do. That's correct. A dirty face. And big claws. Yes. And it almost looks to me like he's got a torn left ear. Wonderful question from Belly the Backpacker. Belly the Backpacker, you want to know how much more food these lions eat compared to the lions of the Sabi Sand. At this time of the year, I'm going to say I reckon they eat probably 20% more. Although, you know, given the drought that there's been, Nkuhuma Pride has been eating a lot of food lately. They've been killing many of the buffalo, and they kill bigger prey there, seemingly, than they do here. But there's so much now, between July and October, for these chaps to eat, that I'd say they probably eat 20% more at this time of the year. But when those zebra and wildebeest and Thompson's gazelle and eland head out of the Mara, things become a little bit more lean. They don't become impossible, but they become leaner, and I think you'll find they probably eat, I don't know, maybe 10% less than the Nkuhuma Pride does in the height of a drought. It really does vary on the time of year, though, so how to answer whether or not they eat more in total than the Nkuhumas, I don't know how I would answer that question. I'm going to say maybe slightly more, but given the difference in prey, or the number of prey species when the migration moves off to the south, I'm going to say it's probably very similar. Well, this is more activity than we had last night with those lions, bar the 3 little hunts. And those wildebeest are now well past. They're not walking towards him anymore, so he's no longer scenting them on the wind. They've moved out of the wind trail. But maybe he'll sit up and give us a call. Maybe he'll flop down and go back to sleep. He looked almost like he might be enthused enough to get up there. No? Don't you want to go and do something, hunt something? There's lots around. Won't be here forever. See the wind starting to pick up a little bit coming out of the north. Fiona, that's a very interesting question. You want to know if I think lions have a preference, if they like to vary their diets, if they get bored of the food that they eat and think to themselves, gee whiz, if I have to eat another wildebeest, I'm going to be sick. Give me a zebra or some warthog. Fiona, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming the meat must taste different. Do they have taste buds as sophisticated as ours? Absolutely not. I think we've got the most taste buds per square area, or per area on our tongues than any other animal in the world, so I wouldn't say that the taste necessarily bugs them too much. So I'm going to say no, I don't think they necessarily get sick of things. What they will start to do perhaps though, oh gosh, there we go, fast asleep. What they will start to do, if perhaps they're in a drought time, they'll start to notice the lack of fat on the animals they're eating, surrounding those crucial organs, the liver and the kidneys, and possibly even the lungs. They'll notice the fat disappearing from that in a drought, and they will notice physiologically they will notice the lack of fat in the diet. Does that then translate to them trying to catch something a bit fatter and fattier? I don't know. Certainly it would with elephants. Not, for example, I know they're not going to eat meat, but they are intelligent enough, certainly, to go off and try and eat different kinds of foods depending on what their physiologies happen to be lacking. But I don't know about these lions. Very nice question. I like those ones. Not able to answer them properly, which means that it makes us all have a good think. Brilliant. Yeah, I don't know that these chaps are going to do anything tonight. We may do a little traverse around just now to see if we can't find the lioness who has been with that dark-maned male. Hello, Cecilia. You want to know what other predators are around here other than the lions and the hyenas? Well, there are cheetah here. I think that they're making themselves scarce at this time of the year because there are so many other predators. There are lots of lions here. There are nomadic lions who are not normally here. They're kind of here for the festival of the wildebeest at the moment. There are many, many hyenas, as you saw. Likewise, there are probably a couple of nomads knocking about here. And that means that the cheetah will be scarce. You can almost predict a cheetah's distribution by the presence of male lions and even their calls. When a male lion calls, it's highly unlikely you'll find a cheetah nearby because they are the main killers of cheetah, often. And so, I think you'll find not many cheetah here at the moment. Probably in 4 months' time, or maybe even 2 or 3 months' time, there will be more cheetah activity. There is one cheetah around here since we've been here. We think she's quite a famous cheetah called Matilda. What a name for a cheetah that is. Anyway, we think she's around this area, but we haven't been lucky enough to see her yet. Then, of course, the aardwolf, which is a kind of hyena. It's quite possible to get a striped hyena here sometimes. Maybe a wild dog. Definitely a serval, which we saw. We saw a few servals, and possibly African wildcats as well. The Nkuhuma pride are behaving completely unlike these two lazy males. They're up and at it and on the hunt. Let's go and take a look.
Yeah, we had them and now the lions are gone again, everybody. So we're going to have to try and reposition and get to them. So you're just going to have to take my word, I'm afraid, and I'm coming undone. My goodness, the wheels are coming off the wagon. Okay, I'm back together again. Am I connected? Yes. Whew! It's been a really adventurous evening already. And these girls are on the move. They just keep hiding away. I don't know what they're doing now. We're going to have to watch this branch. Eggs is very worried about the spider. Right, everyone, sorry, we're navigating through off-road here, and it's more difficult to off-road at night. During the day it's much easier, but let's stop here and let's have a look, and hopefully Jamie can get up ahead, and then we can have a glimpse. Here we go, we've got all 4 of them again.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. There we go, infrared. How cool is that? They're not hunting now though. They seem to be going straight back towards where those cubs were going, or where they left the cubs, sorry. And I'm still confused as to what's going on and what they're doing and where that male is. Because we heard him calling. He was roaring up an absolute storm. And now he's gone very quiet again. So I wonder if he isn't possibly already making his way back to the cubs. Jamie did say that she heard some contact calling earlier, so that's possibly it. Okay, back we go a little bit, and over a few little trees, not big ones that the elephants have pushed over. Come on, Wendy, you could do it. Whee! Just sort of think of it like show jumping, but Wendy doesn't jump. Now what? Now where do we go? Lionesses, I wish you would walk on the road. Right, let's go to Jamie. We're going to leapfrog. She's got the lions again.
All 4 Nkuhuma lionesses on a mission through the block. What an incredible sight this is. On the hunters sniffing around, they haven't spotted anything. Oh, somebody's doing some scratching. Scratching her claws down the silver cluster leaf tree, helping to keep those claw sheaths nice and healthy. And also, I think it actually feels quite nice for them. I think they enjoy doing it. Look, the second lioness is going to enjoy and join in. There we go, look at that. Awesome. She's biting the tree as well a little bit. Oh, that's so cool. See them drawing lines. Now, cheetah and leopard often do this to mark their territories. And I suppose it makes sense that lionesses might as well. But it also stretches out their tendons of the claw sheaths and allows them to keep those claws in tip-top shape. Because of course, as they head into the night, they are most definitely going to need them. You ready for this, Dave?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, so it's not the easiest block in the world to navigate, but it's okay. It's not the hardest either. And it's not my first time. Watch out there, Dovey. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Problem. Crisis. Tree. Lioness is on the move. You ready, Darby? Can we get under here?
Yep.
Go for it. Whoop, whoop. Stop going north! Please. Please stop going north. Oh no, you're not going to stop going north. We're probably about 50 meters away from the Buffelshoek boundary. Here's our lovely lionesses. Awesome. What an amazing view. We've been fortunate enough to watch the technique of the lions in Kenya. Our lions have a slightly different habitat to compete with. You can see this dense vegetation that we're going to have to try and slide through now. Okay, there she goes. Let's carry on. I don't know how well we're going to manage this, but we're going to try. Luckily, we've got Taylor off to my right, ready to leapfrog ahead. Can I get through those trees? That is the question. Will I try? Yes. This is the fun part of this whole experience. Luckily, Steph's in Hoedspruit. Sorry, Rusty. You ready? I'm not ready. I don't know where I'm going. There I'm going. You okay, Dave? We really don't want to damage our cameramen. They're quite irreplaceable, you know. You good?
Yep.
Sorry, Dave. Oh my word, can I do this? We're about to find out. Yes! Oh. I'm gonna lose them. I'm stuck. I can try and get through here, Dave. Are you ready? Are you ready to try? Let's do it. Turning off my spotlight for now. I need both hands to stall casually. You ready? I bet James doesn't miss this. That's gonna hurt. You ready? We're gonna get visual of these lines in 2 seconds. There they are. There they go. Walking as one unit off into the distance. Yeah, we can do it. Are we going to get a flat tire? Probably. Is it worth it? Absolutely. To be privileged enough to watch these incredible cats go about their nightly business is just unbelievable. The thrill, I can't begin to tell you. The excitement coursing through everybody's veins, including theirs. They're on the search, they're on the hunt. For now, just wondering. Watch out, Dave. Yep, comes the strangled cry from the back. Why is my door open? That's okay. Deja vu, I've been here before. I think they're on their way back towards the cubs. There they go. Back to their favourite place around Gowrie Cutline, where over the last few weeks they have had endless success with catching buffalo and raising a healthy, happy group of cubs. Okay, now if I remember correctly, this road, it's not a road, it's a 2-track, goes off to the left and then hopefully we'll come back to the right. That's my plan. If it doesn't, well, I'll think of a new one as we go along. No, it doesn't. Disaster! Our Deborah in South, oh my word. Holy mackerel. No, I can't do this. It would be silly. I'll wreck the car. Sorry, Dave. Now, Deborah, in South Carolina, you want to know if the missing lioness that is not with this group is with the cubs. And the answer is maybe. I'm not 100% sure. Not 100% sure where I'm going to go either. I think they got on their way straight back towards the cubs. So my sense of urgency is slightly dimmed. I'm going to try and do this a bit more carefully so I don't damage Dave. It's possible. It's also possible because I'm not sure, were all 5 of them with Taylor this afternoon when you were with them? Because if so, then yes, there's a good chance she's with the cubs. If not, then she's probably off mating somewhere, or there's a chance she's off mating somewhere. We've heard lots of lion vocalizations as we've been trundling along. There's that spider web, I know where we are. I think they're going back towards the cubs. This 2-track is definitely taking me in the wrong direction though. Poor Dave. You okay there? Good. You're a soldier. Okay, we have to do this. We have to get all the way to the drainage line along this 2-track and then we're going to have to turn north again. We might have encountered the 5th lioness as we trundle along. You never know. Oh, there's a stump. Okay, I'm going to swing north and start heading to head the lionesses off. Let's go back to James and his lions.
Look everybody, we've moved, and we've moved because the lions have not moved. We're just trying to get a slightly different perspective on things, and as you can see, well, there isn't much of a different perspective on things. Let's have one look at the FLIR camera, at least the thermal imaging camera, and we'll show you the lion first, and then we'll scan slowly from side to side and see if we can't see some prey coming this way. One of them did lift its head briefly. There's the other one, lying very sleeplessly, at least sleepfully. And otherwise, these clearings seem remarkably free of life, which is strange. There's the beginnings of the Olololo escarpment. There's a big herd of probably wildebeest or zebra or buffalo up there. Clearly nothing these lions are too concerned about. And I think the reason everything is not hunting right now is that so much food came into this area today. We woke up this morning, looked down over the escarpment, down onto the ground, onto the valley floor here, and there were wildebeest massing by the tens of thousands. Anyway, I think one or two of them got whacked during the day, devoured or eaten, or even last night perhaps. And they are no longer feeling the need to eat. We haven't seen these lions hungry. They've been basically fat for the last 5 days, almost a week. There they are. And just so deeply, perfectly content. And of course they are making hay while the sun shines, which of course all animals should do, including ourselves. The reason they're doing that, well, there's lots of food here now. It won't be here forever. I'm very interested to see that the Nkuhumas are on the hunt. It would be so wonderful to get them on the hunt and actually killing again. We have had them once or twice on the hunt, of course, but it's not that easy to following them. Ellen, you're in Arkansas. You say, how far from the river are these lions? And it's a very good question, and you're justifying it by saying surely it would make sense for them to hang around at the crossing points. I think some of those lions do. Certainly the one that we saw killing today, we saw a lion killing a young wildebeest as it came out of the river today. Yes, they seem to lurk about in the areas around where the crossings happen. I think it's a bit of a stretch to suggest that they have actually learned precisely where all the wildebeest cross, because then I do think, Ellen, that there would be lions around those crossings all the time, and those crossings would then not be crossings anymore, because much like with the crocodiles, I think the wildebeest would work it out, that they, well, no, except that's actually rubbish I'm talking now. I don't think the wildebeest would work it out. They seem to cross regardless with the crocs. But I think if there were lions on the ground, they'd probably learn to avoid the area eventually. Anyway, I do think it's a good question, though, and I wonder, I mean, certainly in South Africa, we know that, well, anywhere where there is water holes as opposed to rivers, we know that lions concentrate around those water holes, because they know that their prey have to come and drink. But I think there's just so much going on over here. There's so much to eat away from the rivers that there's no real point for the lions to go knocking about and lurking on the riverbeds all the time. So that's what I think's going on here. I'm just going to describe what I can smell. Much like the lion, I'm tilting my nose to the air. I can smell smoke in the air, interestingly. I wonder if there isn't a fire somewhere not too close to here, or not too far from here. I can't smell the zebra, though. I will tell you that one of the roads we drove yesterday, though, had a very distinctive smell of very fresh wildebeest dung. Taylor has managed to re-find the mobile lions of Djuma. Let's go and take a look.
Oh my goodness, everybody, what a mission this has been. I'm going to take my spotlight off them. They are coming right up to where the cubs were now. We're sitting basically at the temporary den site. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens now, and to hopefully see their interaction, the welcoming that the little ones are going to give Mom, though I'm sure they were hoping, though, that they were going to come back bearing gifts. There we go. You can just see them popping into your screen now. Don't worry everybody, that's an infrared light. We've just turned all the infrared lights. We are sitting in complete darkness. It's really weird. Having these lions walking around us and I can't see anything and I'm hearing strange noises in the night. It's quite daunting. So I can understand what Jamie was talking about the other evening when all those lions roared. Now we've just got the 2 that have come through so far. I'm going to quickly look. Oh no, there's another one. See, that freaks me out because I only saw 2 coming towards us. Oh, they're calling. I just heard Jamie let out a woohoo at the back, so she must be doing alright and finding her way out. We had some interesting time trying to get out too. Now, it's quite difficult to see, but you can see those little ones moving in the middle of your screen. Obviously very happy to see Mom back again and the rest of the females. I'm going to try and get us a better picture in a moment. I'll try and reposition. Let's just see what these ladies get up to. If these females do start moving with the cubs though, I'm unfortunately going to leave them and let them be, just because it's almost impossible to navigate through this thick bush without normal lights on. Where are you going? And it looks like they are on the move. Let's just see if they're going to come back out or if they're going to go down into the drainage line. I can't see them anymore. You can still hear that male lion calling in the distance. Where have they gone? Okay, let's try and reposition. I'm just going to put my light behind my vehicle. I'm not shining on the cubs, so I need to try and navigate that out of here. Let's try and do this. Turn a little bit. But I think I need to do a 67 million point turn. I think that these females have actually disappeared down into the drainage. Sorry everybody, I'm just trying to navigate. Let's try this again. Now, can we see anything down here? This is another little gap. What's that? That is a leaf. I cannot see these lions anymore and I cannot hear them. Everybody, I'm afraid that these lions have disappeared down into the drainage. I can hear them. They're in the drainage line. They're moving. So what we're going to do now is, unfortunately, we're going to have to leave these females with their cubs. Like I said, I just don't think it's fair on the little ones. I think they're going to get quite scared with the vehicles. And we'll let them have their time. The females gave us a fantastic show. Maybe we'll try and follow up on that male. I'll speak to Jamie now on the radio and see what she thinks. But I'm sure she'll agree with me with leaving these moms and their cubs. But they do look hungry, but maybe they're only going to hunt much later. Let me quickly get hold of Jamie. Jamie Taylor. Oh, I'm pressing all the buttons on the radio and none of the right ones. Copy, Jamie. The Mafuzzies and the Muntwans all disappeared into the drainage. They went west. I'm not going to follow them until they possibly lay down. I might go do a loop and see if I can find that my daughter that's colouring. Just chatting to Jamie, everybody. So Jamie's going to go and check Gowrie Cutline just to see, perhaps they do come out there, then maybe we'll be able to have another view. Otherwise, let's do a little loop. Let's head towards Biffles Hook Dam very quickly and see if we can find this male that's calling in the distance. Alright, while I try and navigate out here, let's head to Jamie for a little update.
We made it! We made it out of the drainage line. By the way, that was Dave's whoopee, not mine. I would just like to clarify. Hey, Taylor. Okay, we're going to go and check Gari cut line. Phew. It's quite a workout trying to get through that block. And we tried to go round in case the lionesses weren't going back towards the cubs, which worked. I just had to then try and find my way out of it. But it's okay. We're in one piece. We're quite safe. Oh, my arms are slightly tired, but other than that, we're all in good shape. The reason that Dave said whoopee was we nearly got stuck, but then we didn't. To cut a long story short, there was a brief moments of wheels spinning as we trapped ourselves on a leadwood log. But we're out. And we're going to try and go around Gari cut line. Phew. I think we have an answer though about our lioness and the missing one. I don't think she was with the cubs. And Billy the backpacker on the subject of, oh, I'm sure Rusty didn't used to creak like that. On the subject of, oh, it's bushbuck. On the subject of our Birmingham boys, because of course there is one calling somewhere, he wanted to get an update on the injured Birmingham male and whether or not his face was healing up. I assume you're talking about the one, Shame. He had the big hole in his face, a massive abscess that burst, or something similar. Hold on, Dave. Here we go. Up the hill we go. Whee! And the answer is he's looking 10 times better. Are you still on there, Dave? His face is healed up. I mean, I don't know how, but when we last saw him, it was a glistening, healthy pink. It was still a hole, but it was a glistening, healthy pink, and he was looking 10 times better than when we last saw him. So really very impressive. The ability of these animals to heal, it never fails to astound me, just how resilient they truly are. So his face was looking much better. He was still sore. He was still, on that side, he was still pawing at it and rubbing it and unhappy. He was twitching, and I think it's still a little bit infected. It's making him feel unwell, a little bit grumpy, but he'll be fine, and he'll have a nice big scar to show for it, as male lions do, and he'll be loads better probably by the next time we see him, when we next see him. Might even be difficult to see exactly. No, you'll see it. You will see it, because it's quite a big dent. But he was a lucky one. I've read and recently spoken to quite a few people who've told a couple of horror stories about animals that have ended up with maggot infestations in their cheeks and around their sinuses. Okie dokie. I'm going to make my way to the big leadwood tree, which is opposite where the Nkuhumas like to hide out, and see whether or not they decide to pop up here. And keep watching the Djuma Dam camera, please. If I don't have a flat tire when I wake up tomorrow morning, I will be suitably impressed. Okay. Let's just stop here for 1 second. Okay, we're going to stop and just listen for a while, see whether or not the Nkuhumas do come out. And while we wait, let's head back to James, whose lion has been a lot less sort of mobile than ours has.
The lion has moved his tail very slightly to the right hand side. There, oh, look at that, a back leg is moving. Good. Excellent. Nothing else has happened. I'm very, very pleased that you had the ninkapumas there on the hunt, but of course it is quite thick in there, and so I hope that Jamie and Taylor manage to relocate the male, because of course he will then look fairly, well, it'll be a good opportunity for you to compare him with these two here. But really, they are beyond flat cat at this stage. Anyway, we're going to sit with them for a bit longer and let's see what they do. Let's have a quick recap. We're coming to you from the Mara Triangle, completely live. My name is James Henry Jandre is on camera, and also in the vehicle, I've forgotten to introduce you during the course of the day. Mrs. Wallington is sitting in the back, and Mr. Wallington operating the thermal imaging camera behind, and in the front seat here we have Daniel, an Askari from the Olulolo Gate, and he is just keeping a watch on us, keeping us safe, and it's a great privilege to have him with us. We are in the Mara Triangle doing two things. We're trying to tell the story of the lions here and also the story of the migration, and we've had an astounding day today. We saw 3 crossings, one with just wildebeest, thousands of them streaming across the plains, at least across the river. And then the last one, the very last one to come out of the water, being smacked by a lioness. She took him down, pinned him against a termite mound, and snuffed the life out of him eventually. The first thing she did, though, and this was a little difficult to watch, was that she suffocated him. He obviously lost consciousness because he couldn't breathe anymore, and then she let go because she was tired, and then he started to breathe again, so he got up and she had to grab him again, and that was a little disconcerting to see. Anyway, that's how it is out here. And that kind of savagery, awe-inspiring as it is part of what it is to live here in the wilderness. Then 2 other lionesses, we don't know who they were, joined her. Nobody seemed to know exactly which pride of lions they were, but it was a new set of characters for us here in the Mara Triangle. Then, after that, we headed off towards another crossing point, and a mixed herd of wildebeest and zebra dived into the water where just before they'd been chased off by some crocodiles. The crocodiles went crazy. Huge 15-foot reptilian dinosaurs of the deep went leaping around, and they caught, I think, 3 or 4 of the wildebeest there. I don't think they managed to get a zebra, did they, Jean-André? I think they just managed to get a couple, 4 or 5 wildebeest. Then they kind of floated off down the river, and I thought to myself I'd made a mistake, because we were asked the other day, where is it best to be, front, middle or back of the herd? And I thought, well, I'd want to be in the middle. Turns out that's not the case. Lions aren't moving, are they? No. I thought I heard something. I thought I heard a pussycat. It turns out the back of the herd is the best place to be, and that is because the lions... Oh no, sorry, it's Daniel moving around here that I keep hearing. That's because the crocodiles, once they've got their prey, they float off down the river, and then they ignore everyone else coming across, so that was a good place to be. Then we went to check on another crossing to see if anything was going on there. We had a rather amusing scene of one lonely wildebeest facing off. He was sort of lying down on the banks of the river, looking at about 15 crocodiles who were staring up at him, and I thought it was quite an amusing scene. And then we thought we'd take one more look at the main river crossing, where, for me, one of the highlights of the day, probably not the highlight, but one of, Thompson's gazelles coming into the water and swimming across. Now, Thompson's gazelle is a tiny thing. They're probably only, what did we decide? We decided they're between 25 and 30 kilograms. That's between sort of just over 50 pounds and between 50 and 65 pounds only. So they're tiny. They leapt into the water. They prevaricated for a while, as all the animals do, leapt into the water, and the crocodiles immediately gave chase. They shot into the water like reptilian speedboats, swishing their tails from side to side, and when they caught up with 2 or 3 of the Thompson's gazelles, they just grabbed them in one bite, pulled them under the water, and that was the last we see of them. There wasn't any of the kicking or fighting that the wildebeest managed to do. When those crocs came up to the Thompsons, they grabbed them, didn't matter from which side, front on, side on, back on, didn't matter, they dragged them under the water and they were gone. And the highlight of that little sighting was a tiny Thompson's gazelle. Couldn't have been bigger than that. It managed to swim its way across unscathed, climb nimbly up the bank, seemed to find the rest of the herd, and off it went safely. How many times it's going to have to cross that river, and how many times it's going to do that, play that roulette without losing its life, well, no one knows. But it's an amazing thing to see. Then we went off to try and find the Cheetah Tembo pride. They, very ill-manneredly, killed a wildebeest while we were watching the crossing. They are fat and very asleep, as are these two male lions now. Shall we have another look at them, Jandro, rather than my mug? There we have it. Hello, Angie. You're wondering if there's any animal that might terrorize a crocodile. Angie, no, not really, you know. I think the thing that terrorizes a crocodile most is another crocodile. I have seen footage of leopards giving crocodiles a go, and we all know that the jaguars eat the caimans sometimes in the Amazon, but very little. I mean, very seldom. Sometimes lions will give crocodiles a bit of a hard time, but I don't think anything terrifies them. Once they're in the water there, very little will have a go at them. I think maybe the main terrorizer of crocodiles, come to think of it, is the other water dweller, the other large water dweller, and that is the hippopotamus. I think crocs are nervous of hippos, they avoid them, they don't like to go towards them too much, and certainly we've seen times where hippopotamus have rescued animals being devoured by crocodiles. They've rescued them away from the crocs, and we had an amazing, I mean today, while the crocs were sort of creating their mayhem, snapping hither and yon with their great big jaws, pulling wildebeest under the water and pulling zebra under the water. Interestingly, one of the big hippo bulls from the pod that lives quite around about the main crossing point came up and sort of got in the way of the migration moving across the water, and we don't really know why that was. The wildebeest certainly tried to avoid him, but I don't know if the crocs then tried to avoid him, if he was trying to stand on one of the crocodiles, I don't know. But certainly crocodiles avoid hippopotami when they can. It's difficult to believe these lions are actually alive. James Richard, very appropriate question. You say, since we've already achieved everything we set out to here in the Mara, is there anything we want to see before we leave? Anything on the wish list? Yes, there is. That's why we're sitting here with two male lions. We're rather hoping to see a male lion get off his lazy cat bottom and go hunting. We'd really like to see a male lion do something other than lie about the place. There's just so much food around, though, that I don't think these things are going to move for love nor money tonight, unless a zebra happens to stand on them, or a warthog happens by on his way home from the pub, or perhaps a wildebeest herd decides that they're not going to follow the normal path and heads up onto these grasslands. Otherwise, I think these male lions are going to sleep soundly. It's a warm evening. There's a bit of wind blowing now, but otherwise everything is completely calm and very pleasant out here, I must say. It was about 32 degrees Celsius, I suppose. That's about 85 degrees Fahrenheit. No, it's not, is it? Yes, it is about 85 degrees Fahrenheit today. So very pleasant. Fran, sorry, I missed your question. BC, can we have it again? It's interesting that, Fran, you say, will these males be more tolerant of the nomads coming into the area than perhaps the Birminghams would, because there's so much more food around? Fran, you know, I think they probably would. I mean, there are nomads around. We've seen them. We've seen these guys in the same vicinity as the nomads. So, well, what we think are nomads. So, yeah, I think they probably would be. And I think it's probably precisely because there's so much food around, there's just not much threat. I think were those nomads to go towards their pride, if they happen to be around the prides, or if they happen to roar the nomads or start marking territory, I think the tolerance would be infinitely less than it is now. But yeah, I would say there probably is a certain amount of increased tolerance given the amount of food.
Zebras are running this way.
The zebras seem to be running this way, everybody. Chief Thermal Camera Operator G. Wallington says the zebras are massing this way. There they are. Apparently they're alarm calling. Oh, they're heading this way. Oh, what's happened there? Oh dear. We seem to have had some sort of power cut. Never mind. The flare's back up. Louise is saying, is there a fourth blob there? I'm looking at it now, Louise. There does seem to be some running, though.
They're running hither and thither.
They're running hither and thither. There's the sort of semi-missing ear, I think. They are running hither and thither. Let's go back to the thermal camera, Gendry. You don't mind? But now they do seem to be running straight towards us. There they are. They're coming straight here, aren't they? This is astounding. Are the lions up? We better have a quick look at the lions. Up, yes, but facing the opposite direction. Wake up, you idiot. The zebra's coming. Yes, the wind has changed direction. Look, it's blowing his very unkempt mane towards the zebras. They're now moving off. I'll just keep you posted. They're moving off to the right of us. What number are they at, Graham? They're at about 7:30 to us now, so moving past the back of the car. He's sort of looking in their direction. They're going to lose his scent now. But something's up with him. That ear is mangled. Looks like he's been playing in the front row of a rugby scrum for many years. I thought I might have been able to hear a lion way in the distance. Rachel, you say thank you so much for allowing people who cannot visit Africa the chance to experience it. Rachel, that's why we do what we do. And it's an absolute joy to bring it to you. It's not a trial. It hardly feels like work most of the time. And so really, it's not for us to, or for you to thank us. It's for us to thank you for watching, and especially for taking the time to send us your comments. So thank you very much for that, Rachel. Without you, we wouldn't have a show, would we? And so thank you for watching. And I'm so glad that you're enjoying being in Africa with us. The zebras are now going away again. They're now at 9 o'clock. So in relation to the lion, the lion's basically at 11 o'clock from us, and the zebras are at 9 o'clock. So he's actually looking at them. And just before you think I'm being a complete idiot by not knowing what Graham's not being able to see where the zebras are, all I've got is that little screen that you can see when Gendry pans down to it, and it's almost impossible to keep your bearings on what's going on. There we are. There we are, panning off to where they are. They're walking past these chaps, but they're probably half hour. It's quite difficult to judge distance. What do you think?
Meters across the road, so we were not far away from the road.
Okay. They've crossed to the other side of the road.
Yeah, they're just on the other side.
Okay. Graham says they've crossed to the other side of the road. We're not far from the road now. Let's go back to the lion. See if he's decided to get up and follow. Goodness, wouldn't it be an amazing way to end this evening with a giant male lion on the hunt? Gosh, he looks absolutely set to by life, doesn't he? Yes, you do. There, you can see the broken tooth. There, he can see them now, or he can certainly smell them. I don't think they have any idea he's here. But there's no reason for them to come past here. So they're moving kind of on a trajectory that I think that's going to take them away from him. But we'll see. We'll sit here for a bit longer and see what he does. See if he actually gets up, or if he just falls asleep again. Oh, what an interesting question. Fiona, you're in the United Kingdom. You say, I mentioned earlier that a little while back they stitched or darted and stitched Scarface up, and you want to know, do they intervene a bit more here in the Mara? I think you'll find there are two reasons for that. Apparently they stitched up his eye, which had become quite badly injured. But as far as I understand, that's not the first time that he's had the attentions of the vet. So let me split this into two. The second time, I'm not sure how he injured his eye, but I think you'll find that his fame and his value as an attraction of tourists to this area perhaps would have made them err on the side of having him fixed up rather than just letting him go quietly into the night. You know how it is. Rich people are able to get good medical care, as are all celebrities. Scarface is no different. But the second time that it happened to him, as far as I'm aware, one of the great conflicts of this area, and it's an ancient one, is between the nomadic or pastoralist cattle herders, the Maasai people, and of course there are no fences between their lands and the reserve, and Scarface strayed off into pastoral lands, and he fell foul of a Maasai warrior who was looking after his cattle, and he got a spear to the guts, as far as I understand it, and the vet was called in and fixed him up, and he was, he survived okay. So I think that, obviously would have been something they would have done in the Sabi Sand as well. Absolutely, they would have helped a lion that had been hurt by human effect. Yeah, look, I said he had a belly on him. He doesn't look hungry. He certainly is on the move now. Let's just see if he goes anywhere. He's got a limp too. Well, let me just wait. Here we go. Wonderful. My reputation as the bush laxative precedes me, and I have now succeeded in making a Mara lion ×2 go to the loo on live television. Well done, James. It's so nice to have such an incredible talent. It really is. There you are. Gosh, what a picture. Thank you, Jeandre. It is amazing how that happens. I have to barely look at an animal before it will do precisely what this one just has. See if he actually moves now, or goes fast asleep, or starts perhaps to roar. He's looking after the zebra, His mate, however, what's he doing, Jeandre? The other one's head is up too. Oh, there we go. Back down to sleep. Let's keep watching and see what happens. You will see some light probably filling the screen. That is a vehicle coming along the main road now. Probably some rangers out on patrol. Doing roughly Mach 3. No, that's not fair. They're not actually going too fast at all. And I'm just thinking, I don't think they would have seen us, We've got these infrared lights on. Their beams didn't hit us at all, so I don't think they would have seen us at all. He's gone back to sleep. Anyway, that's the one we think is called, what is it again? I've forgotten it now. Morana, that's it. That's who we think it is. Brother to Scarface, the great lion of the Mara Triangle. They're one of the blonde usurpers. Where the other blonde usurper is, we don't know. Scarface is knocking about this area somewhere. Maybe the blonde usurper had best watch his back. I suppose as should Morana, given that he has seemingly betrayed his brother, his illustrious brother. Alrighty, these catties are flat. Let's head back to Taylor, find out if she's managed to find the Ninkapuma Pride or perhaps one of the Birminghams. In the meantime, we'll sit with these great males and see if they bother to get up.
We don't even have any flatty catties, I'm afraid. We have lost the Nkahumas. They haven't seen him, however, when he does give off a roar, it sounds like it's further north of our boundary, which is a bit sad. So none of the females are responding to him, so perhaps he's doing a territorial patrol, or is looking for some of his brothers who are somewhere in the area. Remember, we did have some of the other rangers telling us that they heard some lions calling what sounded like to be on Torchwood. So maybe he was responding to those calls. Now, it's a bit chilly, and I was going to tell you that it is so nice because the moths and beetles aren't as bad, and then as I was about to say that, I had the one flying to my ear and then down my shirt. So they're coming out slowly, but it's still a bit chilly. So we haven't even seen any scorpions tonight. I haven't seen any beetles. I haven't seen any shongololos. And only a couple of bush babies, and none of them would sit still. I'd spot them and then they would leap away into the very dense vegetation, which is not ideal. So I wonder what else we're going to find on this fine evening. It's perfect hunting weather for the Nkahumas, so hopefully they do decide to drop those little ones off and continue hunting. I think I saw that Jamie went a little bit further south, so I might quickly drive Gary Cutline just to have a quick look and see maybe if they haven't popped up behind her. However, I think after their long walk that they went on this evening, that took Jamie and I through some very thick vegetation, I think they need a little nap. And I suspect that they're going to have a little rest and possibly in the wee hours of the morning maybe go out again and look for something to eat. Right, nothing here. Like I said, it's a great evening to hunt. You know, something I haven't been seeing much of lately in the last few drives is buffalo. I don't think I've seen any on our safari marathons. Maybe the lions have scared them all away or eaten them all. Where are you animals? Oh. I just had a beetle commit suicide. It flew into my spotlight, everybody, and I heard a great thud. At least it didn't go down my shirt this time. And those of you at home are probably laughing at us and having a good giggle. It's not funny. It's very much frustrating. Right. Come on, Birmingham boy, come across. Nope. Just checking to see if there's any fresh lion footprints or leopard footprints or any footprints. That's very far away. Sometimes we see these little eyes in the distance. We're not 100% certain what they are, but I'm just going to go with common dacre. It's normally a good one. They're quite tricky. They look like a serval's eyes or even a Janet's eyes. They're just that far enough off the ground to look suspicious. Right here, everybody. Ooh, hang on. Can we go into infrared? Lovely ladies in final control. Are we ready to go? And we are infrared actually already. Look at this. We've got a little common dacre. Now it looks like a youngster. Firstly because it's not running away from us. And I've seen a trend in young common dacre. How they tend to hang around. And also it's much smaller than an adult common dacre. It's just pottering. Oh, just sitting on the side of the road. It's very dangerous. You better get a move on, otherwise you could find yourself as the next meal of a leopard. We wouldn't want that. Off it goes, pottering along. Bye-bye, little common dacre. I hope you live to see another day. Now, everybody, we've had no more luck with the lions. I think we're going to let the Nkuhumas, wherever they may be, have a restful evening, and hopefully they catch us something tomorrow night. And the Birminghams, hopefully they make an appearance again. And it's been... Oh, hang on. I can still hear that male calling. He definitely sounds like he's just north of us. But possibly he's going to make his way back towards the ladies. So I hope you all have had a wonderful evening with us. Lots of excitement with all the lions. From the lions in the Mara to the lions here. And I hope you all have a wonderful night's rest as well. So cheerio from myself and Zander, and thanks to the ladies in FC again in final control. But I think we're going to go back to Jamie, and I know she'd love to say goodbye to all of you. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon.
I've just stopped dead in my tracks to listen to the male lion roaring, what sounds like just off the property. Well, as Taylor said, we're going to have to give it another go tomorrow evening, but I do hope you've enjoyed your extended sunset safari and our adventures into the night. It's been an absolute blast. Thank you to Dave for his fantastic camera work, as always, as well as to our lovely ladies in final control. And a big thank you to all of you watching across the globe. We will catch up with you tomorrow for another extended sunset safari tomorrow evening, and who knows what this one might hold. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for a leopard personally, but we'll just have to see where the bush takes us tomorrow. Bye bye everybody, and enjoy your last few moments in the Mara.
Everyone, we're going to sit here for another few minutes with these lions, but basically we're going to call it quits for the evening. We're going to head back up to Ngama Mara, the most magnificent lodge in all the world, possibly, and there we shall recline, much like these lions are doing right now. Tomorrow night, of course, we will be out, and we're probably going to push it a little bit longer. We may do a bit more darting between the prides and see if they don't kill, especially as they all seem to have killed today. And perhaps tomorrow night they'll be a little bit hungrier. The Cheetah Tembo pride certainly didn't kill an adult. They killed a very small animal earlier today, and so maybe they'll be hungry. Maybe they'll come back to this area. Maybe that female lion that we had the other day with Morana there will be back. Who knows? We don't know what's going to happen. Anyway, from the Mara Triangle, that is going to be it from us for the day. It's been a magnificent day of much death and mayhem, but also much beauty, much beautiful, beautiful scenery, the incredible stories of the migration being told before us by the earth as those incredible animals went to and fro across the river, and unfortunately many of them, well, they found a new home in the deep, but many have made it away. Anyway, that's going to be it from us. Thank you very much for watching. A big thanks to Jeandre and Graham and Emily in the back, to Daniel down here, and of course to the whole crew there in the Sabi Sands. We will see you tomorrow at, 4 o'clock East African time, 3 o'clock Central African time, and we'll push it, hopefully, with a lion kill live. Bye-bye.